Hey Collective, how are you guys? Evie Pooh and I are doing good. Thank you all for being here and for spending your time with us. We love you and we appreciate you so much, Collective. Alright, let's tap in and let's see what's in the energy. Put some of this on my fingers. I'm going to start with Spirit. They're on here. I need to know. Corrupt officials manipulating a court situation. They're going to prison over a stolen inheritance. I'm telling you right now, like, this is just all that is coming out in my reading. Something pivotal is getting ready to happen for someone in the collective. And I am manifesting this for all of us, okay? They want you mentally and emotionally unstable. Wow, so their lives will hold up in court. You are so intellectual, okay? You're very intelligent. You're intellectual. Playing mind games about how intelligent you are. Throwing their weight around with intimidation and scare tactics. Could be these corrupt officials here. And they're wanting you mentally and emotionally unstable so that their lives will hold up in court. Okay? And my last reading was regarding this, with them altering medical records, playing mind games, gaslighting and mind games. Okay, whoever's doing this could be very intelligent as well, and could be prominent in the community to where they would believe this person that you're mentally and emotionally unstable, that you can't handle having your inheritance. We've got karmic parents, I'm telling you. They cannot access your energy. This is going along with my last reading. Karmic family members here. Got karmic parents. We've got a Virgo, Libra cusp, or a Virgo and a Libra. Could be significant. Okay. You're the beneficiary here of this inheritance. You're a beneficiary. Magic over your health and well-being. And they cannot access your energy, okay? They may have been messing with you for a while, playing mind games. They could have said that you had a psychotic break. They could have told that to an attorney, that you have severe mental health issues, that you've had a psychotic break, that you're not mentally competent to handle this inheritance, even though you're the beneficiary. Somebody's getting detained here. And this attorney's not corrupt. This attorney's in the upright. We've got the Chinese zodiac sign of the tiger. These years could be significant. Okay. Well, they're going to have the consequences for actions against you. It's just pure hatred here. Okay. And they're going to have to suffer the consequences. Roll the zodiac dice. Spell work over your love life, your relationships, your health, your well-being. They're going to regret what they did to you. Okay. Full of jealousy and envy. The karmics want to destroy you. And they don't want this looked into. Okay. They don't want this looked into. So they're manipulating this court situation. Well, somebody's going to be detained and they're going to prison, and it could be karmic parents here that have stolen an inheritance from you. We've got forged documents, fraudulent forged documents here, and they don't want this being looked into. Okay, so they could have forged something even though you're a beneficiary here. Someone has forged a document. Alright, so we're going to roll the zodiac dice here and see what wants to come out, or if I can find them. Evie Pooh. She's like a cartoon. She's so much like a cartoon. Evie Pooh. She's mad at the closet again. I'm telling you, I think there's something like dead in the closet, in the wall or something, in my closet in my office. She sniffs it, she scratches it, and I'm like, baby, we can't cut a hole in the wall. You're gonna have to stop. They could have wanted you to live in like a hole in the wall. Oh my God, somebody is freaking nuts here. Alright, let's roll some zodiac signs and see what wants to come out. We've got, wow, triple Cancer. Evie Pooh. We've got triple Cancer, Virgo, and Pisces. We'll do it one more time. Evie Pooh. Gemini. Wow. Triple Capricorn this time. And Leo. Okay. Oh my goodness. Hold on, guys. I have to go deal with her. Okay. I told her she was going to get fired from her job again today if she didn't stop. Of course, she got rehired last night. But yesterday she got fired for a little bit because she wouldn't be a good girl. I would be a rotten. And be a rotten today, too. And you can't get mad at her. I mean, you can, but you don't stay mad at her. She's too cute. All right. Clarify corrupt officials manipulating a court situation. They're going to prison. Wow. They're awakening to the fact that they're going down. A mature man wants you mentally and emotionally unstable so their lies will hold up in court. This person definitely has an entity attachment on them. Doing death magic with entity attachments. Doing spell work over your health, your well-being. To cause severe mental health issues. They want you to have a psychotic break. Playing mind games with you. They underestimated your intelligence is what I'm hearing. They're full of hatred towards you. They do not want this looked into. Doing spell work over your love life, your relationships, your health, and your well-being. With death magic, trying to literally unalive you. Attaching entities. Wow. Because they want you mentally and emotionally unstable. These karmic parents here, these mind games, they're saying that you're mentally and emotionally unstable. You definitely need to refer to my reading yesterday if you have not watched that yet. They wanted you needing help. These karmic parents here, they wanted you in poverty. Clarify these karmic parents with a Virgo, Libra cusp, or a Virgo and a Libra could be significant. With abuse, they were very abusive towards you. Okay. You moved on. The travel and the split, you could have literally moved away from these people. And with you moving on and being the rightful heir and a beneficiary here, they could have said they couldn't find you, that you walked out and abandoned the family. Okay, so they started doing magic, death magic. They wanted to transition you out. With these severe mental health issues, they could have wanted you to take yourself out. They could have even lied and said that they couldn't find you, that you were dead. You know, they are definitely manipulating this attorney here, okay? It's attorney is clarified by manipulation. And you're a sweetheart that can be trusted. And they're full of hatred towards you. This is a hate crime right here, okay? Clarify the spell work over your love life and relationships. Evie Pooh, do not go to the closet or I'm going to take you upstairs, ma'am. No, ma'am. Evie Pooh. Don't want to mind me. That could be significant. Maybe your parents said you never minded, that you would mind, that you were out of control. They were abusive. They kept you mentally and emotionally unstable. Right here. So this emotional pain is what I saw and it flipped over. They worked really hard to keep you in this state. Okay? And they don't want this being looked into. Oh, yeah. You're a star seed, earth angel. They don't want this being looked into. They're mad about this. Evie, honey. Awakening to a betrayal here. Evie. Shh. Look at this mature man. She is so pissed. Evie. Clarify mature man for the collective, please. These will not stay in my hands. It's almost like something's trying to fly out. Manipulation with a contract. So they had this mature man here was full of manipulation. Manipulation has come out twice, and they're manipulating an attorney here. Had a contract with this entity attachment. They're mad because they're under judgment for this death magic here. They wanted you to conform conformity was keeping you mentally and emotionally unstable. Okay. Evie, honey. Clarify poverty, please help with these karmic parents. We have rest, and it came out in reverse, so you couldn't rest. They didn't want you to be able to rest. They didn't want you to be okay. They wanted you abused. Clarify abuse. Evie, honey. Bad girl. Evie. Evie. Clarifying abuse. We've got speaking. So you could have been speaking out about this abuse with these karmic parents, and they didn't like it that you moved on. You could be telling what these parents, parental figures did to you here, and you moved on. And someone could even travel towards you because you are a rightful beneficiary here. We've got breathing in reverse. They don't want you to breathe. They don't want you to rest. They want you in a tombstone. Traveling or travel, we've got fear. So they fear that you're the beneficiary. With abandonment, we've got abundance. Wow. Clarify transition with severe mental health issues. Trying to put you in the grave. And this was definitely an abundance from an inheritance from a death that was stolen from you. We got exercise. Someone could be in good shape. They're not sick. They don't have severe mental health issues. You exercise. Your mind's right. They're lying with this false narrative. Having to work on your inner childhood here. Clarifying manipulation. We've got technology. The sweetheart here, wanting to disempower the sweetheart starseed here. Clarify trusted. We've got community here. Something could be going on in nature with your family here. Emotional pain with nature. You could like to be out in nature to help with your mental health. This whole community, they're like trusted in the community. They can be very intelligent. This judge is like on to them. This whole family, they don't want this being looked into because they were sharing this. They put a lot of hard work and effort and labor into this. So they were sharing what should have been yours with each other. Okay, I'm going to have to deal with Evie, guys. Hold on a minute. Alright guys, I'm sorry if y'all hear scraping. Mike's right outside my window here and over here, scraping the driveway. Bless his heart, he's dripping wet with sweat. I just went and got him something to drink. And it's 17 degrees outside. Our driveway is kind of long. And we live on a massive hill and we can't get out. We've got like 15 inches of snow. It's so bad. God. I had to call in yesterday. And I was off today. I don't see me going to work tomorrow. I don't see it happening. It takes us at least 30 to 40 minutes for both of us to get to our jobs one way. So, it's not worth it. Clarify this betrayal, please, Spirit. Let's get back into the reading of these corrupt officials. Okay, at this time, the situation or outcome is likely to occur. The corrupt officials manipulating a court situation are going to prison. So at this time, this is very likely to occur. There could be an attorney that's in the upright here that is looking into this false narrative, understanding how abused you were. This poor little inner child here. This attorney could have found something online. Okay, abusing technology, manipulating technology. And this attorney here could be looking into this, going down the rabbit hole in the paper trail here with these forged documents for someone who is a rightful beneficiary of an inheritance here. This mature man So if this is karmic parents, this could be some kind of a father figure, and that is what came out in yesterday's reading. This is definitely a continuation. We've got the coin toss. Virgo energy. And we did have a Virgo Libra cusp, or a Virgo and a Libra that came out, and the Chinese zodiac sign of the tiger. Throat chakra is being attacked. They don't want this coming out. They don't want this looked into. And this whole family feels this way. They all collaborated together, and they shared this amongst each other. They took it from you. They took a chance. It was a 50-50 chance. There's two sides to every story. Somebody is looking into your side of the story. Considering the pros and the cons, something is going to be fair. Either way, there was a choice that was made here. These people are unpredictable. They took a chance with this manipulation, thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna work. Want you mentally and emotionally unstable so that their lies will hold up in court with all this manipulation here. They made a contract with an entity here, and they did not want you to have this contract. It's got a chain with a lock on it, like whatever's in this folder, whatever's in this document, whatever's in this file. And you're intelligent. They didn't want people to see your intelligence. We've got a thunderstorm here with Scorpio energy. With this transition energy, with this death here. It's destruction. They're in trouble. There could be a warning here from an attorney that's saying you better do something and make something right. This energy has shifted. You're triumphing over evil. It's an opportunity to overcome. These people are completely out of control with this conflict that they've created. Something's going to be displayed. This contract is going to be displayed. Clarify judgment with this death magic and these mind games, wanting you mentally and emotionally unstable so that you would conform to their rule, to their dictatorship here. We got the airplane. Aquarius energy. Somebody's trying to go on a plane, travel, go a long distance, and I think in my last reading the Six of Swords came out in reverse. Someone was trying to travel. That could have been the one before it. Speeding. They have no boundaries. They want to be in control, and they're out of control. They wanted things to work out and with some kind of a judgment in the court, leaving it behind, taking off, breaking free, traveling a long distance at high speed because they want things to work out. Somebody could be trying to go on the run, and I've definitely been tapping into that energy as well. Clarify conformity. We've got the bird cage with Taurus energy. This person was like a predator in your life. They wanted you trapped, confined. They were possessive, very controlling. You wanted your freedom, and that could have been why you moved on and traveled away and abandoned these family members here. They wanted to confine you, hold you hostage. They wanted to watch you like a hawk. They wanted you trapped. Well, now they're trapped in something with these mind games here. They wanted you, that you could have like always been grounded. They could have wanted you behind closed doors because they didn't want you speaking about this abuse. Okay, it was hard to rest. Something could have happened, you know, at night when you were sleeping. These karmic parents with rest in reverse, needing please help, leaving you in poverty. We've got the empty nest with Scorpio energy. These karmic parents can't rest now. There's no one home. They could have said that you left home. Moving on. Because moving on, and then the moving on Kipperish card came out too with travel and abandonment and transitioned out. Lied about where you went. Your inner child was hurt due to all of this abuse. They could have definitely left you mentally and emotionally unstable with a lot of emotional pain. You could have liked being in nature to help transmute and ground your energy. The cycle was completed. You felt empty inside. You could have tried to fill voids because of all of the pain and trauma that you endured. There's some kind of an adjustment that's been made regarding this poverty with these karmic parents having a new life, graduating. This could have been whenever You were high school age? Okay. Clarify speaking about this abuse for the Virgo Libra cusp, or Virgo and a Libra. We've got heavy Scorpio in this energy. Friends, okay. Someone could be speaking to their friends about this abuse. Contacting and speaking about the abuse. Showing up to meet in person with someone so they can hang out, be together, acting friendly on social media. Something's definitely going on. Someone could be speaking out on social media. You could be talking about your trauma and your abuse online, and they don't like this. They don't want you speaking about this. Clarify breathing in reverse with moving on and beneficiary from this inheritance here. We've got eyeglasses with Taurus energy. So someone's having a hard time breathing. Someone could have wanted someone to stop breathing. Someone passed away and stopped breathing. And then there was an inheritance where there was a beneficiary. We have an assessment. Someone was evaluating their options, reviewing and analyzing an opinion and a perspective for this judgment. Reading the fine print, examining it. Taking a closer look, seeing clearly as they check the details, looking at the fine print, very focused and aware. Someone could have asked for someone's opinion after you moved on. Clarify fear with travel. So when you walked away, they couldn't control and confine you anymore. And they were scared of what you were going to say about their abuse. Full of fear, it's unchanged. At this time, the situation is stable and unlikely to change. So they're going to remain in this state of fear. And you're going to stay traveled far away from these people. Okay. Clarify abandonment with this abundance with the magic over your health and your well-being. They wanted you to remain in poverty, always needing help, abused, having abusive relationships that kept you in emotional pain, that kept you triggered, that kept your inner childhood wounds open. We've got the hot air balloon with Leo energy, with this abundance here. Don't resist, rise above, go with the flow, having freedom, going through ascension, elevating. It's a continuous flow. You feel good. You're untouchable. You're balanced. You're uplifting. You rose above what happened in this energy here. And you are very abundant in and of yourself and your vessel. Okay, with this exercise here, with transition, severe mental health issues, we've got spilled milk with Pisces energy. So somebody's crying over spilled milk. They regret what they've done. An accident could have happened. Someone made a mistake. It's over. It cannot be changed. They're disappointed. It's time to clean something up. They wanted to leave it in the past. They don't want this being looked into. Okay. And exercise came out yesterday a lot with like the physical body. The sister that was very jealous of you. That wasn't yesterday. That was 2 readings ago. Clarify this inner child with attorney and false narrative. We have an urn and it just flipped into reverse. So lying about this death, lying about this poverty. They could have lied and even said that they gave it to you, and then they shared and split it amongst themselves when they didn't give it to you at all. You could be talking about it and it could have spiked an investigation. A change of state. It's over. Cancer energy. Someone could be lying. It's done. It's over. With technology, manipulating technology, we've got the sword and scales with Libra energy. So that's justice energy there. The truth is coming out. This attorney could be by the book. Someone could be trying to appeal something in court. They want to balance something out, make something fair and square. This attorney here has integrity. You have integrity. The law is definitely involved in these legal matters. Someone's trying to make amends. Someone could want you to hear them out, or they could want an attorney to hear them out, even though they've lied to this person. and manipulated them. They may not want anything else to do with these family members. Clarify disempowerment with this sweetheart here because they're full of hatred. We've got the fine print with Virgo energy. So they were trying to disempower you, taking a closer look and inspecting, researching, checking every detail in depth, being very thorough about the information, trying to find hidden information, double checking and reading between the lines, diving deep, researching. Be careful. Be careful. Wow. With this community here that you trusted, they hit the mother lode with Virgo energy because they shared it amongst the community. It was a jackpot. Having plenty. Sudden wealth. Living on easy street. Taking advantage of you. The prime source. They were the prime source here. And they took this from you. Clarify nature. With emotional pain and spell work over your love life and relationships. Clarify nature. We've got the hammock with Gemini energy. Being able to rest and relax because you were having a hard time resting and relaxing because it came out in reverse. Feeling supported. Having, to where you can sleep now. Being out in nature could definitely help you sleep. Playing nature sounds and meditations while you sleep. Someone could go on vacation. Waterfalls could be very significant. Something's in limbo. Trying to find relief, meditating, being suspended between two things. Hey, baby. Clarify family with work, labor, and efforts, and they don't want to slip into. You can stay. Hang on a minute. We've got the summer with the mother. Within 3 to 6 months, waxing quarter moon. So a mother figure here could have been a huge problem with this family here. And then on the bottom of the deck, we have Aquarius energy with pillory. Having open dishonor, being totally humiliated. They're going to be punished. They're definitely abusive. They've gotten caught. There's nowhere to run. They're vulnerable. They're shut down inside. Going to have public ridicule and mockery. And they're going to be serving time. They're going to prison. These people are going to go down. All right, let's pull some tarot. All right. Tell me about this betrayal. It's very likely at this time the situation or outcome is likely to occur for these corrupt officials manipulating your court situation or going to prison. We've got the 9 of Wands. So you've been having to defend yourself against this betrayal. They're awakening to the fact you've persevered. You're going to be successful. They're struggling to achieve this goal. They're overwhelmed and exhausted, and you were definitely overwhelmed and exhausted. They wanted you to give up. Someone's very stubborn. And you're the wounded warrior here. You've had to fight against these people your whole life. They're wearing you out. Clarifying this manipulation. We've got the 5 of Swords with this coin toss here. Someone was unpredictable. These conflicts have created defeat. A lot of arguments, tension, stress, and violence with this abuse here. This mature man was very manipulative. They were extremely abusive, and you're speaking out about this abuse. You could have told friends, could have told people online. They're stressed. They don't want this coming out. You moved on, trying to sacrifice you. There's 2 sides to every story. And this mature man father figure could have been very violent with you. Clarify these contracts here with the thunderstorm and the entity attachment. We got the 8 of Pentacles and it came out in reverse. And clarifying judgment, we've got the 8 of Swords. Somebody's definitely going to jail. Difficulty focusing on the task at hand with this contract here. Someone's very intelligent, lazy, having their head all foggy, not having ambition, not wanting to work on something that they're a master and very good at. Okay, specialized in their field. Clarifying judgment, feeling trapped. The Eight of Swords is the jail card. Feeling powerless, full of fear, and fear did come out. They're worried about you traveling or someone traveling towards you regarding this inheritance because you're the rightful beneficiary. At this time, the situation is stable and unlikely to change. They're scared. They're scared to go to jail. They feel hopeless. They're cornered because of this judgment here, because the Eight of Swords is also judgment, and I'm clarifying judgment. They're under serious judgment for this death magic here and all these mind games. They were always crossing your boundaries. They wanted to be in control. Someone wants freedom. They want to travel a long distance. They want to get on a plane. They want to get the hell out of Dodge, leaving everything behind, taking off so that they can break free. Clarify this bird cage with conformity and the mentally and emotionally unstable. Got the Page of Wands in reverse. So somebody's got bad news here. This person's a predator. They're trapped in what they've done. Now they're the ones that are going to be mentally and emotionally unstable. They're unreliable. They got bad news. Having instability. Feeling trapped in what they've done here. People are not wanting to conform to what they're wanting with these mind games. Someone could have gone in crying, begging, pleading with an attorney here that they were trying to manipulate to disempower you. Okay? Because they want this mother lode for themselves. They don't want you to have it. Clarify this empty nest with rest in reverse with these karmic parents leaving you in poverty, needing help. We got the Page of Swords. You're very intelligent. Okay? You're well educated. Trying to delay any kind of news coming in towards you. You've been very patient. You're prepared. Someone could be prepared to come towards you to lay something to rest. They don't want you to have rest. They want you full of fear. You were dealing with a predator in your life, wanting to hold you hostage and confine you, keeping you trapped in a cage. Literally, they could be planning that. They could have done it to you. Clarify this, friends, with abuse and speaking with a Virgo or Libra here. We've got the Page of Cups. You're with these karmic parents here. You're definitely these people's child here. And they're very childish and immature. Hold on. Okay, so someone could be like wanting to show up and share news with you, trying to meet up in person, to hang out. They could contact you using technology through social media in some kind of way. You could be the child here of these karmic parents. Mike lit some incense for me. He's got Palo Santo burning. It smells so good. So we've got the eyeglasses here. Looking at the details, taking a closer look, checking the fine print, evaluating their options. Someone sees clearly. They've taken a closer look. They're aware. They're awakening to the fact that corrupt officials were manipulating a court situation. They're going to jail. Got a Queen of Pentacles here. Moving on from a Queen of Pentacles energy. This person was greedy. Wanted you in poverty. They neglected you. They were very materialistic. They were wealthy. They could have acted all loving and nurturing, and like you had to hold your breath and tiptoe, walk on eggshells around this person, full of fear, because you knew they were trying to sacrifice you. Could be trying to sacrifice someone while they're traveling with this travel card here with beneficiary. On the split with abundance, the hot air balloon. They were feeling good about being a criminal, being a thief, deceptive, liars, sneaking around with all this theft and manipulation here. These are criminals in your life. These karmic family members. And they stole this abundance from you. They stole this inheritance. Wow, and they're crying over spilled milk now because of this death where you were the beneficiary for this inheritance. The tower has hit. Now they're suffering the loss, and it was like some kind of sudden, unexpected change that hit, and it could be because you're speaking up online about something here. Clarify this urn in reverse with the inner child and false narrative with an attorney. They said you walked away, that they didn't know where you were, you moved, You left them behind. You abandoned them, because abandonment is on this Eight of Cups card, and the abandonment card came out with travel and moving on. You transitioned and you moved away from these abusive family members here. Clarify the sword and scales with technology and manipulation. Trying to manipulate an attorney, wanting them to hear them out. And this person's by the book. They're in the upright. We've got the Six of Cups and the Three of Swords. So, since you were a child, these people have done nothing but break your heart. And this was definitely something that happened in your childhood with past events. Okay? These were family members here that the law is now involved with. Looking at the fine print with disempowerment, with this sweetheart, they put you in the Three of Swords, trying to literally unalive you, to end your life. A lot of trauma that you endured. Okay? A lot of pain and heartbreak. You were so unhappy. You were depressed and full of sorrow. And you had to separate yourself so that you could heal your inner child. With the Star, you healed, baby. You healed. And you healing, you're trusted in the community. Okay? And these people were trusted in the community. Someone could have even been a healer. Okay? You could be a healer. You're very inspirational. You're full of hope. You're hopeful for the future. You have a positive outlook on life. You've overcome so much emotional pain. You ground yourself. You get into nature. You take the time to rest and rejuvenate and meditate and relax so that you could recover. We've got the Hermit. You went within. You did your inner healing work with the Hermit and the Star, with the hammock and nature. You healed this emotional pain and trauma in you. You healed your inner child, and you are speaking up. You are fearless. You are not full of fear. They wanted you full of fear, thinking, oh, I'm going to sacrifice you. I'm going to take you out. I'm going to end your life with this Three of Swords that can be a literal death. You are still alive. They're pissed. This family here, they don't want this being looked into. With this work, labor, and efforts with the family and the mother. With the summer. The summer could be significant. We've got Cancer, Leo, and Virgo on this summer card here. They were extremely deceptive with the Moon and the Four of Pentacles. They were holding on for dear life. They do not want to let go of this inheritance. They do not want you to have this. They created a major illusion here so that it was unknown to you. They didn't want you to even know about it. They didn't want you trusting your intuition with the Hermit and your intuition. You are very tapped in. Things are not what they seem, and you know it. You know it. They are having a difficulty letting go of this. They were hoarding your finances, stealing your abundance, and you're a starseed here. And they were sharing this. Well, they're going to be totally publicly humiliated because of what they've done here. Okay, let's read the medical associations from my book. This is on my community tab. If you all are curious about this book, I read these medical definitions yesterday, and not all of the cards have them, but the ones that are out I'm going to read. Okay, so the Nine of Wands. No, the Nine of Wands is not here. Five of Swords. No. Eight of Pentacles. No. The Eight of Swords. Okay, the Eight of Swords represents lung or rib problems. They can't move. Okay, so someone could have broken ribs or something. Lung problems, rib problems. Something's going on with the lungs and the ribs. They can't move. They're trapped. They feel hopeless, powerless. Okay, the Page of Wands. It's problems with speech and sound, receptive or expressive problems, aphasia, laryngitis, being deaf or mute, with the Page of Wands right here. Okay. Now, the Page of Swords. It's not on here. Page of Cups. Page of Cups would is representing a child. So disabled, mentally or physically handicapped, and mongoloid. So they could be saying that you're mentally disabled, and it's definitely what came out with altered medical records yesterday. And then they want you mentally and emotionally unstable so their lives will hold up, because there's a lot of manipulation here about you as their child. Queen of Pentacles. No. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man represents head and neck areas. Head and neck, ribs, lungs. Someone could have cracked ribs, could have a neck injury. Being choked, drowned, hanged, beheaded, suffocated, strangled. A discarnate entity. A spirit attachment or influence, which this entity attachment with a contract did come out with a thunderstorm, with this death magic. They made a contract. They're under judgment. They have got a nasty entity that's attached to them. Snake, spider, scorpion, or other biting insects. The Hanged Man is right here. The Seven of Swords. It's criminals here, clarifying your abundance. It's a crime being committed against them. So this crime is definitely being committed against you here. Okay, with the Tower. I'm surprised the Tower's not on here, but it's not. Okay, the Eight of Cups. Nope. Six of Cups. No. Three of Swords. Three of Swords represents an accident or an injury. Sudden illness, death, cut, stabbed, shot, punctured, ruptured, surgery, heart attack surgery, pierces, stroke, and tattoos. Right here. On the bottom. The Star. No. The Hermit. The Hermit represents vision problems, cataracts, blind, elderly. Any person or object that is old. Example, old food, old clothes, old car, old house, being decrepit, and someone is a senior. Someone's older. Okay, parental figures could be older. We've got the Moon, which represents mental aberrations and illness, confusion, ADHD, schizophrenia, bipolar, stroke, coma, unconscious, amnesia, dementia, Alzheimer's, hallucinations, sundowners, which means elderly who get more confused and agitated at night, cysts, growths, and tumors. With the Moon here. And someone could have even been in an accident that caused a head and neck injury and rib injury, okay, to where they can't move. Someone could be even paralyzed, totally trapped and confined. What they wanted for you could be coming back on them. That's their karma. They're under judgment. And this Tower hit, and it came out of nowhere. And when you fully walked away from the past, from the Eight of Cups and the Six of Cups, from this heartbreak with this Three of Swords, you healed. When you healed this energy, this Tower hit. And these criminals, they're going to be made known. You're making sure of it. You're speaking out about it. And they fear you. They fear your truth. They want you to conform. Sending people after you, doing death magic to take you out, to unalive you. They are so manipulative. Okay, I was told to grab this, the Oracle of Crime deck. So let's see what wants to come out of here. The Furtive Planner. A criminal mastermind designs and executes their plan with a high level of sophistication. And I was drawn to the intelligent mind games here, okay? The Hidden Deceiver. A person employs deceitful tactics to manipulate others and commit crimes. And that's exactly what's going on here. The Mysterious Benefactor. An anonymous figure provides crucial resources for criminal enterprises without revealing their identity. They were completely concealed. The concealed network and the covert conspiracy was sticking up off the back here. An underground network of criminals coordinates illegal activities with precision. They have definitely been moving very strategic and very calculated because they've been getting away with this for a long time, since you were a child. The covert conspiracy, a secret plan involving multiple parties, leads to coordinated criminal acts. And that's exactly what this whole family has done here. Yep. The hidden agenda. An underlying motive drives a series of criminal actions concealed from view. The silent manipulator. A person subtly influences others into committing crimes. And this mother figure here could have been the main one that was manipulating all of these family here, that they don't want this looked into with the moon. Okay. The veil of shadows. A secret organization uses its influence to control and exploit vulnerable individuals. They didn't know you knew how to play chess and put their ass in checkmate. The false trail. Misdirection is used to lead investigators away from the true source of criminal activity with these forged documents here. Or this fraudulent energy. Okay, so I've laid these cards down on the tarot cards here. So, with the Nine of Wands, we've got the furtive planner. A criminal mastermind designs and executes their plans with a high level of sophistication. And up here, the very first card was the corrupt officials manipulating a court situation. They're going to prison. So, they executed this by involving corrupt officials to create this betrayal. Okay, and at this time the situation or outcome is likely to occur. They are going to prison. They are going to get in trouble for this. You are the wounded warrior here. You have been through fucking hell and back. You have had to defend yourself your whole life against these corrupt family members, and they are relentless. They do not want to stop until you are 6 feet in the ground or in an urn. And the urn came out upside down, and I'm just seeing that, pouring your ashes out so they can walk away with the 8 of Cups. They don't care about your inner child. All they do is lie. All they do is lie. Now this tower's hit, these criminals, for trying to sacrifice you, and they're crying over spilled milk. They've done this shit to themselves because they're fucking greedy. They're money hungry. The hidden deceiver with this mature man, this father figure that always wanted you mentally and emotionally unstable. It's come out multiple times, and I did a whole reading on it yesterday. It's what's been coming out in my last few readings. It's just leading up to where more information of how they're orchestrating all this behind the scenes is coming out. It's exhausting. We just want justice. We want these fuckers to go to jail. We understand what's going on. We want something to be done about it, Spirit. Please. The whole collective wants this. A person employs facades, deceitful tactics to manipulate others and commit crimes. This manipulation with this 5 of Swords and this mature man wanting you mentally and emotionally unstable. So all these lies that they've been telling on you since you were a little girl. Since you were a little girl or a little boy, since you were little, you had to walk away because the abuse was so bad. You weren't safe. You had to do what you had to do to stay alive. You're a survivor. They can't stand how strong you are. The mysterious benefactor with this contract here and this entity attachment. They did not want you to have this contract. They were doing everything possible to keep you from getting this. An anonymous figure provides crucial resources for criminal enterprises without revealing their identity. And I was drawn to this mature man over here and this mother card here. These parents were distributing funds to get people to come after you. The Eight of Swords with judgment, with these mind games, fucking with this court case. They could have traveled a long distance to do spell work, to do this death magic. They could have gone out of the country even to go have some kind of voodoo priest or priestess to come after you with whatever they're doing. An underground network of criminals coordinates illegal activities with precision, and they have an airplane that could possibly even be at their disposal, because the airplane is in this row with the Eight of Swords. Someone's going to jail. They want to leave it all behind. They've got connections. They could even have like false identities to be able to leave the country undetected, to create a new life somewhere else, because I have been channeling like crazy that somebody is going on the run. But the Page of Wands reversed. Somebody got really bad news with this covert conspiracy. A secret plan involving multiple parties leads to coordinated criminal acts, and they got bad news about this. Someone's not conforming. You didn't conform. And they've sent predators after you. They always wanted to control and dominate and dictate every bit of your existence. You were scared to sleep. You couldn't rest. You're exhausted. Keeping you unsettled. You had no choice but to move on. The Page of Swords with the hidden agenda. Stalking and spying these karmic parents here. An underlying motive drives a series of criminal actions concealed from view. Watching in the background, watching from the sidelines, sending ops to report back so that you wouldn't be on to them. You know exactly who the hell this is. Their abuse has been consistent throughout your life. That is one thing that has definitely been consistent with these karmic parents here. The silent manipulator with the Page of Cups, speaking about the abuse with friends. They could be getting their friends involved to say that you were abusive, not them. The silent manipulator, saying that they could be saying that you're manipulative. A person subtly influences others into committing crimes, and speaking to friends on social media, meeting up in person, contacting people so that they can relate and create a soul tribe here, a whole group of friends to come together and to come against you after they've been manipulated, because they don't want this abuse coming out. This Queen of Pentacles is clarified by the Veil of Shadows. A secret organization uses its influence to control and exploit vulnerable individuals. This Queen of Pentacles could have been a mother figure here. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could be significant. You moved on so you could breathe again. Evaluating your options. You could see clearly. You knew exactly what was going on. Giving others a whole new perspective on who this true beneficiary is and what really happened with this inheritance here. With this false trail. With the Hanged Man. And now they're full of fear regarding what they did with you as the beneficiary on this inheritance. Misdirection is used to lead investigators away from the true source of criminal activity. And these criminals here with the Seven of Swords. Clarify the Seven of Swords. Let's just keep going. The misleading alibi. A fabricated story provides cover for a crime, misleading investigators. So they're doing everything that they can to mislead and redirect the energy towards someone else. Okay. The Tower is hit because we've got the silent witness. Severe mental health issues with transition. They could have even said that you were having self-deleting thoughts. That it cannot be changed. Having to leave something in the past that cannot be changed. They made a serious mistake that they're regretting now. It's over and it can't be changed. They're disappointed. It's time to clean this up. A crucial piece of evidence is overlooked but holds the key to solving a major crime in these forged documents here. So the tower is hit, and now they're freaked out because all of a sudden something has shifted in the energy here. With the Eight of Cups, they could be trying to escape. They could be trying to travel and move so that they can escape. They can't handle your strength. When you had walked out and abandoned them, it sent them into orbit. The insidious scheme, a gradual and deceptive plan leads to significant criminal consequences over time. They're having to walk away from this scheme because now it's blowing up in their face. With the Six of Cups, we've got the enigmatic intruder. A mysterious individual infiltrates a group, causing criminal disruption. So, and I was channeling an undercover FBI agent yesterday in the reading. And this attorney here, who's not corrupt, could be doing something to look into your past. A mysterious individual infiltrates this group, this family here, and it's causing disruption in this criminal organization. Clarify the Three of Swords, please, for the collective. Looking at the fine print of the sweetheart that they've been trying to disempower. We got the false front. A deceptive appearance is created to cover up criminal activities. You're this sweet, precious person, and they can be trying to act like you're just some kind of monster or something. They're so deceptive in their appearance. They're so sneaky. A misleading alibi. False trails to get the investigators off the trail. Using corrupt officials to make this happen. A major betrayal is going on. This was very well thought out and planned out with intelligent mind games. I'm just hearing like even an intelligence agent of some kind, espionage, spying. With the star here, we've got shadows of vengeance. A personal vendetta drives a series of calculated criminal acts that you have had to heal from. And they were content with doing this. They wanted you to have an illness, to be in despair, to feel hopeless. They didn't want you to be inspired or positive. They just wanted you always negative and in your mind. The Hermit here. Clarify the Hermit. You could have been alone a lot and to stay away from your family members. You could have been grounded a lot. I know I sure was. Grounded every fucking day and alone in my room, which I liked it that way. They thought I was being punished. I preferred being alone. The web of corruption. A network of corrupt individuals collaborates to manipulate systems for personal gain. So this Hermit here with technology that's being manipulated with the sword and scales with the law could have some kind of a search warrant to look into someone's laptops, their electronics, okay? An attorney could have obtained a search warrant from a judge here to look into this corrupt network of criminals that are manipulating the systems for their own personal gain to steal this inheritance. Under the moon, we have the obscured identity. A criminal hides behind a false identity to evade detection and prosecution with forged documents. And this is the row where the mother, the family, work, labor, and efforts with the moon, and they don't want this looked into. The hidden influence. An unseen force exerts control over criminal activities, manipulating events from behind the scenes. And that's exactly what I was picking up on. The concealed motive. An underlying reason behind criminal behavior remains hidden, affecting events. Because they don't want this being looked into. So they're doing everything that they can, paying corrupt officials off, all kinds of stuff. But somebody is going to be serving time, and they are going to be publicly ridiculed and humiliated for what they've done here. Okay? There's absolutely no way around it. Yeah, they want this hidden. A chameleon here. They want it hidden. They don't want this to be known. They're doing everything they can to conceal it. We got water, and it came out in reverse. And I'm just hearing water signs, or just someone is not in their emotion over this. They don't care how bad they break your heart. They want you heartbroken. They have no emotion towards you. Something's definitely going on social media, and it's now gotten them trapped in this situation here. And this attorney here could be looking into this technology. We've got regret. So they're regretting what they've done because justice is here. Clank, clank. Somebody's getting some handcuffs put on. They know about this abuse and this neglect from these karmic parents here. Wow, regarding this life insurance policy that they were trying to cover up from a grandparent. Holy shit. And you were the child here that was supposed to have received this. Your intuition is so tapped in. They are scared of your intuition. And they can't stand it because you keep healing and you're alive. They want you dead. What else do we need from here? Your family. Wow. Your family from outer space is helping you. Your galactic family. But this is definitely family members coming against you here. Okay. We've got a couple. You could have run away from this couple. From these karmic parents here. You ran away. You got the hell out of Dodge. And you were supposed to receive a gift. And this gift could have come in after you ran away from home. They're trying to clean up their lies at a meeting. Regarding this gift. We've got organized crime. Whenever I just tried to separate the deck. It's definitely organized crime here. Let's do one more. We've got a landfill. Could have wanted to put your body in a landfill. These people, these full of greed. Because they're in devil energy. Someone could have bought a boat or could be trying to travel on a boat. Someone could have definitely been in an accident, especially with the medical injuries that were coming out. Okay, someone could be trying to travel. They could be trying to get out of the country. They could be staying in a motel or a hotel trying to lay low. Well, all right, we're going to roll the dice and we're going to close out. We've got double Aries, Taurus, Cancer, and Virgo. Do it one more time. We've got double Libra. Wait a minute, where's the Libra? There it is. It's hard to see backwards. Capricorn, Leo, and Gemini. Do it one more time. Virgo, Cancer, Gemini, Taurus, and Pisces. Could be significant. Alright guys, this is going to be our reading. Don't force anything to fit. Please only take what resonates and leave the rest for who it's for. I love you guys so much. I hope you'll please hit the like, subscribe, and hype button. Thank you all for being here. We love you. Bye, collective.